Ta-da! Here we are, part 4, time for tips and tricks. Using the drawing I made in part 1 for a few examples. And probably no underwear. I mean, I'm wearing underwear, as far as you know, but I'm not going to be demonstrating anything with my underwear. Your studio monitors, or big fancy expensive speakers, are used for giving you an accurate representation of the music you're mixing or listening to. Now, if you have the distances to the walls not even, you want to be positioned in the center of the room, you're not going to get an accurate picture of what you're listening to. Here's what I mean. You want an equal distance here on this side of your desk and equal distance here on this side of your desk. Make sure you measure that carefully. As far as your monitor speakers themselves and how to position them, the ideal distance from tweeter to tweeter is supposedly about 67 inches or so. Bobby Owsinski. Now, good luck, because that's kind of far apart when you think about many average-sized bedrooms or that sort of thing, where many people will be making their home studio. The reason I say good luck with that is you want to form an equilateral triangle. That means the distance from tweeter to tweeter should also be the distance from you to one of the monitors. So you have an equal distance from monitor to monitor and from you to the monitors. Now, you're going to need a certain size desk to pull that off. You're going to need, obviously, a certain size room. You don't want your monitor speakers up against the front wall. Let's say you cannot build, you're not in the position to build a fancy home studio, but you want to one day. There is zero shame in that. Don't feel bad about that at all. Make plans, consider how you can do that in the future. I hope I'm being helpful with that. I mixed on headphones for quite a while. I mixed, I think, half of my first album on headphones. Now, I can put a listen link below. You can look me up, Aaron Links, on Spotify or whatever streaming service, Apple Music, whatever. The point is, don't feel bad about what you have or what you don't have. Make the best of what you have and think about how you can do things differently for the future. Another point is the tools that you use. I am not a craftsman. By that I mean I don't own big fancy expensive tools. The tools I own are the tools I use for building this, and that's pretty much all they're for. I'll give you an example. Let's take a look. See this here? This is what I used to trim the frames for all the acoustic panels and to do any general cutting I think about. This is from a store called Harbor Freight, and it was cheap for a jigsaw. Obviously I don't have a blade in it right now. This one supposedly has a laser on the front of it that shines down so you can make straight cuts. I think the laser is a little wonky. So I make a line and then eyeball it. I'll show you my right angle clamp, because the one I saw in Lowe's that I demonstrated in part 1, the video, is different than the one I have. It's an Irwin. Here's my little Irwin right angle clamp. There we go. Now when I loosen this sucker up, you see how big and kind of blocky this thing is? And I'm pretty sure this cost at least 20 bucks when I got it. The one I showed in the video was only 10 bucks at Lowe's, and it's a lot lighter weight and it seems like it would be a lot better for building acoustic panels. Another tool point. I own a good measuring tape. It was expensive for a measuring tape. I think it was $20. But if you can, I recommend one of those indoor laser measuring tools. They're like a rangefinder, but they are for indoors. So you can put it up against a wall, you can hit a button, and it'll tell you how many inches until that laser hits something, which is really handy. It'd be really handy for making sure, if you bump your desk. See, I downsize my desk, so sometimes I get excited and I wiggle around and I smack my desk. And then I wonder, I must have moved it a quarter an inch. My mixes are going to be crappier. And if I had one of those $100 laser measuring tools, I think that's how much the Bosch one costs. then I could move my desk around. Otherwise, I just have to hope my mixes are working out okay and I didn't get excited and smack my desk around too much. Real quick, let's talk about why I used stacked computer screens behind me. I used to use a fairly large sized TV screen. I mean, large for the size of desk I was using. Double monitors in a vertical configuration is very helpful because I can use a smaller desk. They don't directly obscure my monitor speakers. And I really like being able to, when I'm mixing something, put a plug-in, move it up to one screen, and be manipulating the settings on the plug-in, let's say a compressor, an equalizer, whatever. And then taking a look at I use PreSonus Studio One, taking a look at my DAW software on the main screen. It's been very helpful to me. I wish I'd done that previously. Another tip. Consider how long you're going to be wherever you are, wherever you're going to be building your home studio, and consider the height of your ceilings. This will affect your bass traps and the hiders that you build, those frames covered in cloth that you put in front of the bass traps. If you move to a place with a lower ceiling, you're going to have to cut something down or have something leaning over even further. Been there, done that. Things I wish I had thought about before. Also, consider how much stuff you have, how many things you put in your music studio room. If you're a collector of underwear, hopefully just your own, I recommend downsizing. Or you're going to be mixing for 79 hours straight one day, and you forget to eat, and you're going to flop over and pass on, and then someone else is going to have to move your stuff. It's probably going to be your mom. She doesn't know what an 1176 is. She doesn't know what an LA2A is. She's going to slap them up on eBay. Or ask one of your buddies. You think your buddy's going to tell her the truth of how much that thing's worth? Huh. No, he wants it for himself. Your buddy can be a jerk. Write on a piece of paper, stick it on the wall. Mom, this is my good stuff. Sell it for lots of money. Here's the final pan around the room. One thing I'm still trying to figure out is how to treat this top corner. Everything else has turned out great so far. The bass traps in the back of the room don't do a very good job of hiding those triangles of insulation. That's not something I'm worried about at this time. Watch out, Bigfoot. Here we have my isolation cabinet. This makes it so I can record my guitar at pretty loud levels and not disturb the neighbors. Inside it has the same acoustic insulation that my acoustic panels are made of. It's built by my buddy Jeremy. Thanks, Jeremy. And finally we get to the listening position. Behold, it's great. You like my glowing guitar in the background? Oh yeah. Check it out. There's the acoustic panels on the ceiling over the listening position. Down below these panels is my amplifier and other stuff I use for recording.